Looks like an interesting new parts of a Dark Souls map. Well, it might more so in a moment. Bullet Bill. Now, I'm getting back to that tomorrow, about 2 hours before now, i.e. 10 p.m. PDT. But not today, but soon. Most sprites can be slide killed. If a sprite acts like an enemy, it behaves like one too. If the blocks shown to the right are not familiar, please play more ROM hacks, infinite lives, instant retry, etc. Okay. Yep, I know what these mean. So I did play a little bit of this beforehand, but it was like the last thing I did way late at night. And so I didn't make it very far, and I completely disregarded the message about slide killing. Which I'm definitely paying more attention to this time, I think. I haven't actually had to do it yet, but... slide killing isn't really going to help me right here. Oh, yeah, that didn't work. But yeah, it's like only a few QLDC levels left, and all of them are either ones I need to replay in an emulator, or ones that I know will take a very long time. Basically, this Morsels, Daizo and Friends. This is Heraga and Friends' entry. They don't have time to read all of the people involved. I think Nitrogen and someone else I saw on the list. Why does everyone write etc. as... I mean, I think it's a perfectly cromulent abbreviation. I wouldn't be surprised if it's been allowed for quite some time. How you doing, Kappa? If I had to make a guess, it's probably enshrined in, like, the Chicago Style Guide. Which is generally what I look to if I don't know what to do with words. This is the one I've been using forever. MLA is not nearly as cool. And I don't really care for the New York Times Style Guide either. This is an improvement. Right, okay, I knew I needed to slide there from, you know, remembering. Did not want to jump. But I don't know, maybe it's because it's a weird word to spell. Most people don't spend a lot of time spelling Cetra, unless they're, you know, really big fans of Final Fantasy X. But I could be wrong. Oh, it was like et al as well. I don't know if that's an abbreviation. I was doing some learning the other day, which is to say today, about the earliest CD-ROMs. And apparently one of the earliest available CD-ROMs was a CD-ROM Microsoft published that included such wonderful things as a thesaurus, a dictionary, and the Chicago Guide of Style. You know, in case you needed that on your computer. The ISO, for what it's worth, weighs in at like 45 megabytes. It's not that big in the grand scheme of things, but considering it came out in like 89, 88, it's pretty hefty. So, I screwed that up. Did not bait it out the way I wanted to. Doing alright, a bit tired. We performed with an orchestra for the first and second time this past weekend. Oh, that's cool. I'm still gonna get hit there. Hope it was a stirring performance. And it was fun to play, of course. What's up, Fen? How you doing? There we go. Cycling around slowly. Just have to learn this first room, and then the second room, and then the third room, and probably the fourth one. Very possibly the fifth. We will see. No, this level? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I technically drew this one RNG-wise earlier, but I didn't end up... Wow, what a dumb way to die. Completing it. What's up, Farah? How you doing? Yeah, I'm a little bit rudderless because I didn't really think I'd be streaming today. In fact, I'd set up things and told people I wasn't. It Turns out I'm a moron and actually was going to a show yesterday, and I messed up the date. I thought it was Thursday. It was Wednesday. Good news is I noticed this mistake before missing the show, but I didn't notice it, earlier in the week when I went and published things saying I'd probably miss this one and the next one. Thursday streams, I mean. So not brilliant on my part, but these things happen. Dang it. They recorded, I'll be able to share. Oh, that'll be cool. It was all VGM. Nice. Always thought it'd be cool to go to one of those VGM concerts. Not even like, the big names like the Earthbound Papas or what have you. Or like the Final Fantasy Live stuff, but it would be really cool. I think I've missed a few opportunities in Seattle to go see one of those just because I wasn't aware of when it was happening. Nope. Live, stream 10 hours, never again. Yeah, never again. Good call. Good call. Now, I used to do like 12-hour Chadac streams, and then I look at this, I'm like, how did I ever manage to make that work? And now, like, I might do a 4-hour one, but not a 12-hour. Not again. It does make you respect people like Desi who seem to do that on the regular. But yeah, even if it was my job, I don't know if that's how I'd want to play it. I think I would have a much easier time doing like the Orator Glitch Cat thing where you play for 3 to 4 hours every day, maybe 6 hours most days, not 12 hours every few days. That's just too much. I don't know why I keep thinking that's going to work. Still not used to the backside of the Bullet Bill, Banzai Bill, being non-existent. I'm also half expecting them to suddenly grow shapely legs. Because that wouldn't surprise me if Heraga and friends decide to bring back that gimmick from the prior QLDC. Though I don't know if any of them actually were the ones involved in that specific level. Okay, that wasn't the right way to play that. That was something I'd check out this level. Something you're tinkering with for C3. Oh yeah, lay it on me. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I also said like I have basically no agenda this evening because of my lack of preparation. Mid-July, MagFest is in San Jose, an extremely fun experience, not orchestra. I mean, I assume you mean San Jose, California, the city that's a bit southeast of San Francisco. Mid-July... It's unlikely that's going to work, unfortunately. I'm probably going to end up doing a bunch of traveling in the end of July. Because my little bro's getting married, and I also told my father I'd come and spend a week with him at some point in the near future. And this is probably the best time to do that leg. So most likely I'll be traveling the last couple weeks, or the last week of July, and combined with that. But I do know that MagFest, like the central one, is in DC, or near DC. That's a lot easier sell for me nowadays. I have relatives out there who live in DC and don't mind me crashing on their couch and or guest room. Bay Area, okay. Yeah, I've been to a few things in San Jose. I've been to a couple of California Extremes. Actually bought a copy of Myst at the last California Extreme I went to that I kind of regret buying, because it turns out it wasn't the PlayStation version, it was just another Windows 95 version. Oh no, wait, this was an original Mac version, which is even more useless for me, because I don't own a Mac that can play it. But, because I thought the PlayStation version would be cool to own, just for the sake of owning it, even though, like, I don't want to play it on PlayStation. Games that are designed with a mouse in mind are best played with a mouse. They're not best played with a weird controller scheme. And if I was going to play one of the weirder conversions, I'd probably pick, like, Sega CD or Saturn. But Myst is best played either on an old-school Mac or PC if you're going to go for the, you know, 486 experience. If you want to experience Myst in a lot of better ways and don't care about the retro stuff at all, you should just pick up the most recent version that works for VR. It's actually pretty cool. Assuming, you know, you're into VR, which dubious proposition as well. But as far as VR games go, it works pretty well. It helps that everything in Myst is kind of manipulatable by fingers and stuff. There's a feature in Darkseid 2 as well, where the cursor would change depending upon what the context of what you wanted to do, which was very Windows 3.1-ism, I don't know, early OS-ism that you didn't see too much in adventure games. But Myst also had that property, where like if you were going to poke something, you would get the poke icon. Well, that's how I was doing that part without sucking. Note to self, abusing the power of Mario's butt only works if you actually stay on the platform. Ow. Let's see. I'm gonna stop and read next death. Super Mag's also fun. Oh, that works if I'm small. Useful. Right. Concerts are always sick. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's usually, if I recall, because I think I looked into this a few years ago, maybe like 19 or 18, because I usually go out to the East Coast for the mystery hunt around Christmas. They're a little bit after. It depends on how early MLK Day is. I think MLK is either 2nd or 3rd Monday. I think it's the 2nd Monday in January. That would have been so cool if it had worked. And since that's the mystery hunt day, or the weekend of the mystery hunt, you got to kind of go out for that. Send it to me? Alright, nice. Level's pretty hard. That's one of the reasons I also left it till the end. Like, it's one of, like, 3... Like, so I had a couple DNFs, but they were DNFs due to technical limitations. I think that people had written some assembly that didn't quite work on the SD to SNES. With the bomb level, and what was the other level? The fish level had problems. Like, I just randomly die as the fish, and I couldn't figure out why. To a point where I just didn't want to really try to complete the level, because I'd just get kind of far and get my flops working correctly, and then I'd just die, and that sucked. Okay, so I was optimistic to think I could make the barrier there. A lot later in weekend of the 21st. Okay. I'll have to see where that is, where that falls with Mystery Hunt. How many entries left? In terms of numbers, there's, I think, 6 total. So still sitting in the RNG queue are Daizo and Friends level, Morsels level, and technically Hawalutas, though I've given 3 hours to Hawalutas already. With no cheating. So far I've managed to RTA the whole thing. So far. Though he highly advised putting in the save state card. And then there's a few I want to revisit to get, like, actual clears, because things broke. And this was one of them. This wasn't one that broke, I just got started on it like 3:40 in the morning. I was like, no, I'm not making any serious progress in the 15 minutes I've played this. I think I'm going to go to bed. Morsels is good for 5 minutes. Can't remember the exact day. May have well ended at Tuesday. Let me see what Mystery Hunt is. Okay, day 2024. The 15th. Okay. Morsels is top tier. Interesting. Those are not contradictory opinions. I remember Morsels from last QLDC, and I definitely did not enjoy it. I might consider giving it another shot when I, run out of other levels I need to beat. I don't remember if I published that one. I might not have. I only got like 2/3 of the way through the prior the first QLDC. That almost worked. I really liked that maneuver. Yeah, Mystery Hunt's a bit earlier this year, so the 15th. So So I might think about how I'm going to play it instead. I might like go to Boston and then head to DC afterwards to visit people. Maybe with a short visit to New York City first. Because I do enjoy going and looking at some art. I haven't been to New York since last November. It was good, though. I did finally get to see the dang James Turrell I was trying to look at for years. Turns out that there was one, like, in Seattle that I could have gone and seen with much less effort. And that all of his skyscapes are very similar in nature. So, there's that. But it gave me a good excuse to play Bubsy Visits the James Turrell installation. Which is always a good time. Retrospective, thank you. I do not remember the exact full title, I believe, but I think it is Bubsy 3D, Bubsy Visits the James Turrell Retrospective. Yeah, there's one at the University of Washington in the Burke Museum, which is like in the middle of the University of Washington's campus, and you know, being my alma mater, you'd think I would have known about it, because it's been there the whole time I was. But the one that I took effort to go see was the one at MoMA PS1, which is like MoMA's weird little brother. And I do mean that, like, in a very literal sense. Okay, this is new. Oh, come on! I picked poorly. Because, like, MoMA gets an awful lot of stuff that you'd recognize and understand what you're looking at, and you can say, oh yes, I'm familiar with this person's work. Even if it's not necessarily the most popular work, you might know it. And of course, they've got the things that everyone goes and sees. Starry Night and a few others. Wasn't that a really good room dedicated to that architect who did the Guggenheim building, whose name I am completely blanking on? Was it Weber? I want to say it was Weber. But MoMA PS1 often just has weird shit for the sake of weird shit. There was an installation piece that had a lot more molding thread than I care for in an art. Oh, right. Okay. I do think it was supposed to be saying something about Islam, but I'm not exactly sure I understand what. Something about not throwing away bread being against their religion, and so that was an important part of this specific installation. There was a lot of cinder blocks and rotting burgers. But like I said, weird little brother. They were also screening a movie that I really probably should go and watch. That was about the first withdrawal from the World Seed Disaster Vault. Which did look really interesting, but I didn't really want to spend all day watching a video inside. When there was more art to go see. I think I did actually go to the Guggenheim shortly thereafter. That day. Right, don't fall. Snap back to attention. Not Berkeley. No, not Berkeley. The University of Washington. There's a James Turrell in the University of Washington is what that entire thing was about. Yeah, I think it was right. How you doing, Dick Feynman? What's up, TJB? I saw you were playing Jump earlier and considered watching for a little bit, and then I realized, oh, you're playing the blindingly blue level. I think I'm good. Or, I recommend Jump outside of that level. That level is so blindingly blue. You know, I'd like to get through here big, but you know, I'm actually getting some consistency. Well. Got the checkpoint in New Jersey and power immediately went out and deleted your checkpoint. Oh, that sucks. My condolences on both things. Hope the power cut wasn't too long. I guess since you're talking, it's very likely it was fairly short. New Jersey is an easy one. I choose to disbelieve. I choose to disbelieve massively. I do wonder if I'd find the same levels difficult now. Because me and my buddy were playing Jump, you know, two-player, and having to stop and having the whole overworld reload every time and all that jazz does slow you down and get you out of the flow. I wonder if New Jersey would have been quite as painful if we had not been tagging off on that. Though I still think New Jersey is terribly placed on the world map. Really terrible to put that right there, with no way around it. Bonk. Bonk. That would be my biggest complaint about it. And the other complaint is that just, I don't like the spotlight. Vision gimmicks are not fun. That worked. Oh, that was cool. Okay. Well, this is, I'm optimistic. You know what? I'll take that. Okay. Alright, so I died here to this bullet bill that spawned. That's red, I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. Right. So 1 hour. Oh yeah, the Burke. Yeah, the Burke Museum. There's a lot of things named after Burke in Washington. In Seattle specifically, such as the Burke-Gilman Trail, which used to be a rail line that was converted. Used to go to a coal works. Gasworks Park is relatively famous in Seattle for being a derelict building that's just been left there mostly. Also was a super fun site, and I definitely wouldn't, you know, nice place to visit, would not have a picnic there. But as long as you're not on the ground, I don't imagine it's too bad. But lots of heavy metals in that area. In fact, I just saw that they're going to try to dredge the area around it. Adds like a sand cap to make it so the water area around there isn't quite so toxic, which I support. Dang it. Did actually hear that syllables? Oh yeah. No, I had to stop and think. I'm like, why Berkeley? No. No, just a common... It's just one of Seattle's early, like, big political people. I don't know exactly the whole history of it. I want to say that one of them... Was it Burke? Maybe it was Burke or Gilman. One of them ran a whorehouse on Mercer Island. But I might be getting my stories mixed up. But Seattle was always very much a weird frontier town until relatively recently. I guess probably around the time Boeing got established. I never get my slide on there. I didn't think that through. I didn't think that through. I should visit the Burke again. It's also been about a year. But the same day I went and bought some new shoes. Since I was in the U District and it just seemed like the thing to do. I do like a good museum, but I just don't visit them as often as I'd like to. When I was in DC, I went to several Smithsonians. As you do, just because, like, it's there. Okay, so that's a way better strat. Try to kill those on the... That. Okay, no. I wonder how long there's gotta be... I knew there had to be a trick. I've seen the exit, though. Okay. Which occurs to me, I have been to Berkeley. Not the university proper, but the general city. There's a Thai monastery that my bro likes to take people to when they visit Sacramento. San Francisco. Pretty good food, honestly. Though I think they are running some sort of scam to avoid paying taxes. But I also don't care that much, because, you know, they're monks. Yep, I've seen the door. I'm optimistic about this first section now. Like, seeing the end always helps raise one's morale when playing a difficult level. And I've been at this for, what, 26 minutes, and I already knew what the level looked like up until, like, the second set of... well, the slope after this one. Last time I did not get past that slope. So I don't think I really... My prior knowledge really counted for all that much, because I had to relearn how to do a couple of these bits. A lot of good food yet. There, I'm certain. I just haven't gotten to experience much of it beyond that. I also was mildly amused when I got the Berkeley Bowl and Berkeley Pit mixed up, which are very different things. I believe the Berkeley Bowl is some sort of grocery store, and the Berkeley Pit is a pit of mining tailings that's out in a different state entirely. I think something like Wyoming. People like to go visit it for some reason. And they have a system to automatically shoot guns to try to scare ducks and geese off of it, because they will melt if they stay there too long. There we go. I don't know why I can't... Maybe I need to get further up on that. Because that slope is weird to me. Partial LA cuisine. But the option's still great. Yeah, LA's a city I really haven't gotten to spend much time in, despite having been to Orange County multiple times at this point. Not really like a, oh yes, I'd like to go to Orange County, as much of, oh, work has taken me down there to Orange County, and that's weird. Last time I went, oh, what was that time I went? Ended up finding like the only place that was still open around. Very much a fratty type beach bar place. And the surfer dude was telling me all about his theory that surfers are more immune to viruses because they swim in sewage a lot. It was an interesting conversation. Oh, it has literally everything? True. Including smog. How you doing here, Airsoft? Yeah, we got big bullets. They are not small. No, no, no. The one time I did get to play tourist in LA, went to the Griffiths Observatory with my sister. And that was pretty interesting, because I've definitely seen that place in other media, but had never been there. That worked. Namely, plumbers don't wear ties, and the Wizard of Speed and Time. Okay, and then there's that. Then two slopes. The screen stops there. Maybe I could do something smarter than get right in their faces. Smog is much less bad than in the 90s, I bet. Environmental regulations have gotten a lot more strict since the late 80s, 70s. Generally just having less actual production happen in America, especially with nasty precursors. Electricity getting a lot better, so you don't actually need to run your own boiler. Though some places still have to because of heat constraints, I suppose. Yeah, if I can get to the end with a mushroom, I am set. Just a matter of doing. Yeah, I'm not certain that's a better strat. But yeah, mostly because of movies, you see an awful lot of LA already, even if you don't know exactly which part is which. A bit like how you had those movies that took place in New York, so you see some of those places, including the one alley in New York. New York really doesn't have alleys. So there's one alley they film all of their alley scenes in New York. Why did the upper one... That was probably a tick thing. Everything, traffic, air pollution. Which is still stifling for asthma. Oh yeah. My sister was not a fan. Especially when it was on fire. Or the nearby area was on fire. $1 million homes with 3 square footage. Seattle's catching up on that. Or perhaps has already caught up on that. I should have remembered. I just learned something. It's always on fire. County has 4th population of the state. I didn't know that, actually. Yeah, I just remember driving through it. It just humongous place. Especially compared to pretty much any other city I drove through on my gigantic road trip, 2021. Though maybe the Dallas-Fort Worth area would have given it a run for its money. That felt pretty big, and I was trying to skirt around it. Though I almost missed going to Buc-ee's. If you're ever in the south, like, southern area, and you need to get gas, you should go to Buc-ee's. It's insane. It's like a gas station-themed Walmart. It's impossible to really explain how bizarre it is. But also, it's really good. It's just one of those things you wouldn't expect. Hell, I even saw a kid wearing a Buc-ee's t-shirt when I saw Ailstorm in DC last month. It was a very odd thing to see. He, of course, was also wearing gigantic ear protection, because, dear lord, metal shows are loud. I need to come up with a better strat for that part. Spent 20 years of your life there, for better or for worse. Yeah. I'd say at least the weather's nice. That's the one, like, redeeming characteristic, as long as you don't like rain. And of course, both times I've been there, it's been during bizarro rains. Which were fun and all. Nice to see the storm drain system doing its job. Outside of its cameo in Volcano, which was an otherwise terrible movie. Weather's what you escaped to Seattle for? Fair enough. It was dry so you couldn't breathe, yeah. I like Seattle's weather well enough. I do get tired of the late, like, incredibly short days during the middle of winter. But then, you know, we get days like today where the sun didn't set till 9:30. Thereabouts. Makes up for it. At least a little bit. Just a little bit. But yeah. Do like Seattle. Look. I will say I do kind of miss, like, the big rain you get more in the south. Good thunderstorm with a lot of rain coming down. It's just a pleasant time. You know, provided you didn't want to go anywhere or do anything, you know. I just take getting all my rain out of the way in the afternoon, as opposed to having to have it go all day like in Seattle. No. Just having good gardening seasons? Yeah, Seattle does not have great that at all. Being permanently sunny. Be less rain than I should water my cactus. I completely forgot about my cactus. I don't know if it's doing well. I should see if it needs some water, because it's been a long time since I've watered my cactus. Water availability is more questionable? Yeah. Water rights are a complicated thing. My grandfather spent a number of years working in the civil service in California, dealing with water rights problems. That's just in California, given that it gets an awful lot of its water from the Colorado. Okay. So one more from the left, and then this. Okay. You know, I really thought that might work. It did not. Gave up on your succulent. I mean, in this case, like, it's definitely not a terrible thing. It's a silly cactus. It was given to me. It's a tiny cutting, too, as a gift. Gift? At the end of our last D&D campaign. Partway through the campaign, we fought a psychic cactus that was starting a feud between ice cream vendors. And the DM's wife heard about this plan and ran out and bought a cactus to be the miniature for the cactus. Because they apparently live close enough to a nursery for that. And so for the climactic battle, the cactus came back with, you know, children. So we all got to keep one, which was nice. Now, the weirdest part about that is we didn't find until long after the campaign was over, was that the vast majority of the campaign was based upon the anime Outlaw Star. And I was like, there's no way the Psychic Cactus came from Outlaw Star. The Psychic Cactus came from Outlaw Star. Literally the entire setup. Including the ice cream vendors, of all things. It's not a very serious anime in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Right, one more from the left. And then we're back to contemplating how best to do this. I like the idea of jumping on the Banzai Bill. I'm just not convinced it's going to work. I also don't think I can jump... Yeah, I don't think I can jump over it. I think the best shot is this. No! Well, it was my best shot. Kind of person who takes abysmally long showers is a water bill would be if you stayed in LA. Fair. Now, it's one nice thing about Seattle. Water is plentiful. And pretty good. Like, there's a few places in the nation that have better water, but not many. Like, I think New York's water is probably better. At least I enjoy it when I'm out there. I cannot stand DC's water. I cannot stand Florida's water. I couldn't stand LA's water, honestly. Where else? Las Vegas water is terrible. Utah water is also really bad. But at least Utah has, you know, the fact that they're, you know, in a complete and utter desert as their excuse. Having been to Manhattan in the last couple of years, no better than Tap Here. Like I said, Seattle's is really good. Like, it's definitely a bit of a toss-up here. Suspect it's because there's, like, just stuff coming out of mountain lakes that's nice. Not skunky, not hard. At least not hard in the wrong ways. That sort of thing. Alright, that worked. Shouldn't have worked, but it worked. Was actually aiming for the piranha plant. Okay. A little bit too much hang time. Still have Friendly and Never Sink. NYC water at the origin's really nice. I bet. Also Seattle adjacent, so you don't know if that matters. It depends on how far out you are in Seattle. Also, hello, well-known vintage. How you doing? Certain other areas might pull from well water. Like, I know Squiggles' place is on a well system. As opposed to the municipal. But I'm not certain exactly how far out it goes. One of those, that'd be an interesting thing to find out. Do I really want to go down to the Department of Plumbing to find out? Probably not. I could have just ran under it. Also, I just baited it wrong. It was the wrong spot for it. That works. Shouldn't have. But it did. Alright, I'm almost to Area 2. Almost. Okay. Wait for the leftmost, and then we prepare. It's a very evil finale. No! Doors. Not on a well system. Water is fine. At least nothing special, but completely driftable. That's perfectly good enough. Filtered anyway. I mean, it's always pretty reasonable to filter it just in case. Sediment, other things. Filter it, put it in the fridge, enjoy later. It's a good way to go. Especially on warm days. Nothing quite beats a cold drink, and I realize I've completely forgotten about my 2 gold drinks to my left, to my right. I also forgotten that I don't know left from right. It's very important. Well, the thing is, like, carbon filtration never hurts water, right? Like, it's not going to make it any worse unless you know, have a really relatively new filter. In which case, it'll add some small amounts of carbon specks to your water for a little bit, and those settle out, so... I don't think it makes that much of a difference in the best case, and it certainly doesn't hurt in the worst case. Alright, next death, I am having some of my beverage. Because it is warm. I'd say maybe I should be more optimistic when I beat the level. But I don't think such optimism is warranted presently. Almost worked. And then I forgot to... It's the problem with auto-scrollers, is you just don't have time to, like, just take a moment and chill. I wonder if all of the other rooms are also auto-scrollers. Does remind me, I also need to finish the 24-hour contest judging, since I haven't done anything on that in like a week. Kind of wanted to have one that was at a time that was reasonable, and I was thinking yesterday would be a good day for that, but it wasn't. Yeah, I'll still take it. Because of the show I went to, it just wouldn't have worked out. Thinking maybe Sunday, but I also might be angry at Mario World on Sunday, so we'll see. Nope. Okay, we're back. We're back here. Gotta prepare myself mentally for this bit. This is it. This is the one we go on. I went too early. What are you doing in my room? I'm gonna kill you! It was over slowly. Gabriel was getting himself choked to death. That's one thing that's really unfortunate about the sequel, is that I don't think there's any way to die until the final puzzle of the game. So you don't get treated to, you know, fun Gabriel deaths. Though that was kind of the way they just did the FMV. Yeah, that's how Sierra did all of the FMV games they made, now think about it. Like, you can't die in Phantasmagoria 1 until the final chapter. You can't die in Phantasmagoria 2 until the final chapter. You can't die in Gabriel Knight until the final chapter. Yeah, I already knew that I messed that up. Which is weird when you consider the fact that an awful lot of other Quest Sierra games, death is part of the fun. Finding all of the dumbass ways you can die. In fact, I saw that there's a all deaths percent on some Sierra game speedrun boards, which I highly appreciate. Though my personal favorite one is the one in Space Quest 1 where you touch a puddle of acid and it does a whole Saturday night, or Saturday night football thing with X's and O's demonstrating where your problem was, and it was touching the puddle of acid, whose entire purpose is to proc this scene that does not help you solve a puzzle. It's not important in the slightest. It's literally there as a noob trap. But that was Space Quest. Space Quest had a ethos about dying. Namely that it should at least be funny. Oh, dang it, this was a freebie. If I just didn't do... I didn't even realize it was still big. Around and Larkin. All right. Yeah, I'm hoping the next sections are a little bit easier, and or if it does in fact save, I might take a short break and take a look at your project for Faro. But if not, I'll have time in the near future. Before C3. I'm not gonna have any time during C3, but I'll probably have a few streams in July before then. Turns out ICFP and C3 are on basically the same days, so not gonna be doing much that weekend other than writing code. Unless it really sucks, in which case I might just go home. But you never know. There hasn't been an ICFP that's made me go home and not ICFP yet. But you never know. You never know. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what they come up with this year. Apparently they've changed how they do it. Now they're doing like a co-tandem thing, where instead of one group of people running it every year and then completely handing it off to another, they're doing it on a 2-year cycle. So you get like the same people around twice, which I think might help in terms of keeping quality a bit higher. Oh, I'm bummed. But proof's in the pudding. This will be the first year they're trying it. They did mention that they could now share code, but they could just put it in a Git repo somewhere. So I know that's what pretty much everyone running puzzle hunts does. There's like a few different options for hosting puzzle hunts depending upon what platform of choice you have. Like I think the Galactic Trendsetters open source theirs. The team, formerly known as the entire text of Atlas Shrugged, open source theirs, I think. I want to say Codex open source theirs, but maybe it was a while ago and they didn't. No, we open sourced our Puzzle Man. Which thing did they open source? I think it's just Blackboard, maybe. Which is written in Meteor, which is not my favorite environment to write things in. Alright. Don't even care. Wait. Yes, okay. I forgot I could get trolled. Thank you for the H. Alright. These are some big-ass dolphins. Intriguing. What am I seeing here? Not what I expected it to do. These look like angry bullet bills. That was a warning, not a spin jump. Oh, hey! It's even a nice H. Not all H's are kind. Alright, still acts like a bullet bill. Noted. For Banzai Bill. I was kind of expecting the right one to be a troll, but I guess that's not how we're doing things. It's interesting they even give you the option. I think if I came down there a little bit quicker, I could save my power-up. I completely forgot what I was talking about. Open sourcing things and ICFPs, I suppose. Very much on the mind since, like I said, it's coming up next week. My bro's flying in for that, which is always fun. We're gonna make some potato salad and grill some stuff up the first day, because it's a 3-day competition and we've learned that it's better not to eat complete junk food. One bummer, unfortunately, is one of our friends is out this year. And he usually makes tacos, which are really tasty. But he is out this year because his wife just had a baby. Like, Sunday. One's glowing, I wonder if they're potobos. I was gonna guess the evil dolphins, but they could easily be potobos. I'm willing to bet that the latter half of that's more forgiving. Alright, cool. We're back here. I just need to stand there. Good luck with the questions. How you doing, Meatloaf? Thanks for the good luck. Oh, man. Okay. Apparently my jump was too slow. Nope. I wonder if they're spinnable. I thought you said spawnable. That makes way more sense. Well, if we get bored partway through, I'll load Always Cape and we'll find out. Given I only had to cheat in one of these so far, I think. Might have cheated in more than one, but I haven't cheated in too many. I ended up cheating in Tomato Johnson's level because I'm just like, that's Tomato Johnson's level, I don't care about this. It was definitely the right choice. Theoretically, I might have been able to beat it given enough time, but I didn't want to. It was not a level I would have found grand edification in. Okay, I don't want to jump early. Maybe I don't want to jump at all. Maybe I should just trust that it will work out. Gotta stop doing that. I just need to continue forward in momentum. What else is interesting? Oh yeah, the music tournament caught up to one of my picks. Which has been entertaining. It's gotten more votes than the prior one, so I'll take that, but... Given my impetus and what I've done with my picks, it's not terribly surprising I'm not doing well. Oh my! Oh my. Yeah, SMW Central's doing a music tournament, so a bunch of people like suggest 3 songs. They're doing a short round robin section to bring it down to the set to a reasonable power of 2, so that you can, you know, actually run a tournament, and then that one song will be the victor. So far, the Sunscreen Marketing Board hasn't done so well. I think I've received a grand total of 2 votes. Frank's Chair is doing a lot better. I think I've gotten a couple votes that weren't me. So if I go and vote, that'll be like 3. And I'll be very curious to see how the William Shatner cover of Common People does. Because for some reason I decided to submit only spoken word things. Which I think is at least interesting. But definitely not the style of music that they expected. Yeah. The parody version of the Sunscreen Marketing Board is a parody of the Sunscreen song that was all the rage in the late 90s for like, I don't know, like a year. Just a bunch of advice that was eventually set to music and actually did chart on the Billboard in certain countries, like the UK and Ireland or something. And of course there were a number of parodies, because that's what always happens whenever a song is relatively popular. Whereas I don't think Too New ever really went anywhere. I think their crowning achievement was being in a car commercial. Or, no, it was a Johnny Walker commercial. Either way, the front man for that band isn't doing bad for himself. He's a commercial voice actor and has done a lot of stuff, including, I believe he is Wolf in Star Fox 64, which I think is kind of cool. Ah, okay, no, I need to keep him off his balance, okay. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. No, the Sunscreen Marketing Word starts with, don't enjoy the power and beauty in your youth. That way, when you get old, you can still be happy. Though I think my favorite line in there is, why chew bubblegum when a piece of no, wait, it wasn't that one. It was, read books. Don't read carpet sample books. It's not that kind of a book. Oh, it was a freebie if I just didn't do that. Yep, exactly. You can look it up. 3 Dead Trolls in a Baggie. They've done a few things you might have heard. There was the Internet Help Desk, one that was fairly popular for a while, as well as Keep Your Parents Off the Internet, another just bit of sketch radio show humor about the dangers of your parents being on the internet, which is a truly amazing pornography delivering device. Not sleepy, gotta duck out. Oh yeah. Good night, Fen. See you later. Should be back before you'll probably be back before the level is over, very likely. The most interesting, oh, and of course my personal favorite of their songs, Every OS Sucks. Every once in a while I find myself just singing along to that one. Out of the blue. But yeah, one of the guys from that comedy troupe eventually ended up as a writer on Corner Gas, which, for a Canadian, that's pretty good. No, if I hadn't hesitated, maybe. Been thinking about it. And of course, William Shatner's version of Common People is just better than the original. Like, 100% better. I can't even listen to the original anymore. And that's not an unironic appreciation. Like, it's really hard to enjoy William Shatner's spoken word. It's not for the faint of heart. Sunscreen Marketing Board. Next time I die, I'll be happy to like look it up and drop a link. Let me just look it up and drop a link. All right, well that wasn't easy. Good, I still have it here. Here you go. Put everything back the way it needs to be. Yeah, no problem. It was easy enough. It was still in my browser history from the contest. So I just had to type Sunscreen Marketing Board into the Chrome bit that does that. Because when else do I type sunscreen into Google? I know what sunscreen does. I don't need to learn anything more about it in my age at this point. Very much wear it if you're going to Australia, or else you might die. Boom. Alright. Troll H? Wasn't gonna look away. Oh, no. Oh, no. I have a... Okay, that wasn't what I was expecting. Oh, thanks, I hate it. We listened to the original song religiously in high school? Oh, dang. I actually went to a graduation where someone, I think, recited it. Or their light parody of it. It was a number of years ago. How in the... I'm already bad enough at these things. Fish and Bill. Unless you're a native Australian with more exposure. Yes, yes. That's true. If you're one of the natives, that goes for an awful lot of places, you know. It's like, if I'm going to go to Africa, I probably should wear sunscreen. Caribbean, wear sunscreen. The natives don't necessarily have to. But I definitely do. Well, and make sure you get the right kind of sunscreen, otherwise you might be threatening coral reefs or turtles or something. I forget exactly what the right kind is, but I guess that'd be something you could look up on Google by typing in sunscreen. No! Okay, I hope this section is short. Oh, Fishin' Bill. Gone Fishin' Bill. Don't fish in Lake Bill. People don't like that. Don't fish in Lake Rubbermaid. People also don't like that. Okay, good to know I can spin jump on it. That gives me some more options. I don't know why I assumed it wouldn't work. Don't know why I didn't assume it would work. Yeah, I'm thinking next time they do a music tournament like this, I might try a different theme, such as music that, as far as I can tell, has disappeared from the internet entirely, and that I downloaded from mp3.com before they shut down, which, you know, probably work out. I don't think anyone's going to sue me over those. So I'd probably be tempted to submit Goomba's Shoe, which you can actually download from my website, but I'm not telling you where. You have to go find it. Old Test of Time classic. AKA the guy who did the Where's song. Another one of those things that went viral before virality was really a thing on the internet. Back when you caught, you know, you went really well, you went viral if it was a popular thing on the 3D Realms forums. Thought it'd flip. Like I said, a different time. Beverage time. I appreciate that only the first area has been an auto-scroller. Ah! You think I can juke it out, but I can't. Okay, maybe don't go for the spin jump. I really don't want... I want the lower amount of jump velocity when I land on it. At least its hitbox is somewhat forgiving. Alright, that worked. And then that didn't. One thing you've never understood about QLDC is what questions the creators are really trying to pose with their submissions. I mean, this one I think is a pretty easy question to see here. It's a bit of a supposal in the same way that an awful lot of... oh, crap. Blanking on the name. C.S. Lewis books are. The question really is, what would life be like if all sprites were replaced by Banzai Bills? And I think it, you know, thoroughly answers the question it poses. Is it that bullets are dangerous? Well, I think it's that our bigger bullets are more dangerous. I mean, honestly, QLDC is CLDC, but with more nonsense. That's really the long and short of it. Alright, I want to see what's beyond that one spot and start trying to plan out how I should do things. Ah. That might have worked if I'd gotten a bit luckier with the height. Does this level say anything interesting about the duality of man? I would say no, but mostly because Luigi isn't here. Alright. Next. I do not like bullet bill hitboxes sometimes. Though I suppose that'd be more about the duality of Jumpmen. It's one of those, like, things that if I was a better Kaizo player, I would know exactly how to manage my bullet bill, my Banzai fishing buddy here. I need to just hold jump during that period, so if there is one, if I make a hole, it won't doom me. That's better. Okay. You know, that worked surprisingly well till it didn't. Short section. Hooray! I guess it's a thwomp now? I like how its eyes. He kind of closes his eyes, he goes back up. It's cute. It looks like more like an orca in this position, doesn't it? That's not what I was expecting. I also thought these would be death blocks and not hurt blocks. Bill's been fishing, but he hasn't caught anything for a while. It's true. Mario always gets away off the bottom of the screen. Really needed to learn to wait here? I either need to learn to go faster there or wait there. One or the other, not sure which yet. Brings a comment on the industrial complex and general overconsumption in society. I mean, look, I fall from the school of analysis that basically says, as long as you can bullshit well enough, you can say anything you want. Supports basically any commentary. I'm not much of a believer in the actual utility of literary analysis as it's presently studied, outside of pleasing English teachers. Okay, so I thought these were Bowser statues, but they're not. They're thwimps. Should apologize. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I've definitely done similar bits, but I'm just not. I don't believe much in it. I don't take much stock in it these days. It's a relatively recent mode of literary analysis too, which is one of the reasons why I'm willing to give it more shit. But we teach it as if it's the only mode, which I think does people a disservice in terms of both understanding, analyzing, and enjoying things. Okay. This is an interesting conundrum. You can't spin jump off lines, though. Okay. Alright, well... Can I clear this in one go? Should I try to go under? I think I can clear it in one go, but I need to be a lot closer. Now, either way, I probably should sit down and actually read the Death of the Author paper in its entirety to at least appreciate the argument a bit better. But not something I'm going to do anytime soon. Already have enough random nonsense I need to read. Probably should try to come into this ducking. I don't think it would have made a difference. Actually, I don't think it makes a difference at all in terms of the difficulty of these parts. Just when you see vines, ducking is often a good call. I'm beginning to think, no, you can't go over the top. I'm a moron. I didn't even know that rule. Well, no, actually... I guess it depends upon where I think the hurt box for this is. Yep, no, usually thwomps are defined by their bottom right, or their bottom left pixel. But I assumed that wouldn't be the case, but of course this is all custom crap, so who knows? I know that the people involved, several of them are people who actually know and understand and appreciate the beauty of ASM. So I shouldn't be surprised at anything that happens. A little bit lower. Yeah, that first section's a bear, but these other ones have been pretty reasonable. Like, I was briefly worried that this might take the entirety of the time. Okay, coming in with momentum solves the problem. Not the problem I was trying to solve, but you know. That's not the end of the section. Understood. So back in your ad agency days as a data analyst, you had a managing director that when reviewing client work would oftentimes grill analysts to provide him with plain English interpretations of points that the analysts were trying to make at their presentations. His point in doing this was to, in a sense, fight against what you were describing, the phenomenon of not being able to prove any point, you want by putting up bullshit on it. Yes. Yes, exactly. Honestly, when I go to art galleries, I always have to go and read the statements, because otherwise I have no idea what they're trying to conceptualize, typically. And I think that is, not ideal. If your art can't actually carry what you're trying to say about things without, 18 paragraphs, you probably haven't done a very good job of conveying your point. This is especially awful with a lot of modern art. Truly vacuous stuff. But I still go to modern art galleries or modern art museums anyway. Sometimes I find a piece or two that amuses me, or I actually enjoy, but most of the time I just go there to basically be like, yeah, this all sucks. I go to modern art galleries to get angry, not to actually enjoy the art. Though I do appreciate the, what was it, that one, the banana one that's gone viral a couple times recently? Where someone literally just nailed a banana to a wall. It's like, yeah, you sure did that. I'm impressed. And hungry. And therefore I will eat the banana on the wall. No, not this one. Okay, you can go faster than I think. Okay, cool. Nope. Didn't like it. Okay. I'm just gonna leave. Alright, I'm glad I didn't panic. Variations on a theme. Oh, yeah. Just in case it spawns a vine or something. Wait, 8 rooms, 2 mushrooms, no checkpoints. Wait a second, what was all that 5 about then? Oh boy. Doom scrolling. I like that. Doesn't mean that art needs to be simple to be effective, it just needs to be clear and important trying to communicate. Yeah. I agree. Alright. Alright. Where's my other... Oh, that's... It's got bullet bills as part of the chain, too. I wonder if those hurt. You know, it does occur to me that I'm going to need to hit this more than once was the end of that sentence. That we hadn't seen the on-off blocks yet. Those were some parabolas. Nope. Oh, I'm digging this. So was it 8 rooms, 2 mushrooms? Note to self, those do hurt you. Note to self, probably should just start over from the start. So close. Because I entered the door, I lost a second mushroom. You're... No, I got both mushrooms. I think I was okay on that front. It just didn't matter too much because I proceeded to do nothing with it. Honk. So I do have some like weird art games that are on my list of things to play. I added another one the other day. Earlier I was talking about early CD-ROMs. And one of the earliest CD-ROM games caught my eye, and I'm like, this is a thing I want to play on stream. It looks intriguing, though I need to do a little bit of work in the real world first before I try to play it. What? What? No, I want to go up! What was the... Did I not... I wonder if there's a timer. There's probably a timer. An off-screen, like, Koopa timer. Or maybe I have to go around the loop enough times to convince a disco shell to come to the right place. Oh, this doesn't matter at all. I'm just gonna fall off the cliff now. Yeah, I did not understand what I was looking at fast enough for that particular level, but, you know... What room was that? 5, 6? Like, we're making progress. Yeah, I think that was room 6. Like, this room's actually pretty easy. Like, all the rooms are pretty easy once you understand what you need to do in them. And actually do it, which I suppose is the bigger obstacle. Okay, maybe I don't know what to do in that room. Okay. That room is a nightmare. Right, I'm gonna count this time. This is room number 1. It's got the fun spinny thing. Room number 2 also has a... You know what I'm suddenly reminded of? Zucotti's hack that's in progress. Which is literally a series of difficult door entries. Fast, to be fair, but difficult door entries. Alright. Alright. That one's tricky. That one's going to be the one I fail on repeatedly, I think. Oh. Nuts. I might be able to swing this. I did swing it. Ha! I haven't played tested that in a while. I wonder if what work he's done on it since. Chuck was room 6. Alright, cool. That does help. Part of it is I just keep paying attention to what I'm trying to do. You know? I'm not happy with that. Those are humongous. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Now, the fact that it's room 6 is moralizing. That means there's only 2 rooms beyond it. It's the first room that's really given me pause, so I can't complain too much. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this room. I don't think I did that right, but it works out. Alright, well, we tried. Oh god. That's gonna take a bit. I don't know why, but I feel like that room might have ice physics. It's probably just in my head. All in my head. Ain't happy, feeling bad. How's that go? It's been a while since I've listened to any Gorillaz. Two, 3, 4. And then... Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's a freebie now. Crap. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that room yet. Oh! Okay, cool. Got lucky there. Well, that's simple enough. Sunshine in a bag. Well, I couldn't remember. It was I ain't happy, feeling bad, or feeling glad. This is the worst I've done in this room. I'm just gonna stand here in shame. Yeah. Gorillas. Another one of those things that I definitely heard in high school. They're still going as far as I know. Yeah, that's it. You just go in and out on that specific pipe. See, here's where everything goes horribly wrong. Is I end up jumping on the Banzai football, and it prevents me from doing the jump I want to make. Which is probably the point. Probably the point. 1, 2. Brilliant. Well, I'm not going to start sandbagging attempts yet, except if I die in the very first room, because that's just silly. Maybe wait another bounce, but I'll probably kick another bill. I just don't know what to make of that area without taking damage. The other ones, at least I get what I need to do. If I can get to the end, if I can get to the room 8 with a freebie, I'm guaranteed success. That being said, I need to not take a hit and give the prior room, except for 6, for that to come to fruition. Like, I'm vaguely tempted just to stand on the door at this point. Like, that seems to be a way more successful thing than what I'm doing. Yeah, you just go to the major extents. That's not too bad. I made it. Area 6 out of 5. Curious. Ah! You know, I really should have expected it, and somehow I didn't. So do I have to do all of that again? Nope. I like this. Also, the music is somewhat infuriating. But they were all red last time. Like, is this a Silver Gunna thing? Is that what is this what I'm listening to? There's too many pixels. Okay, so it is based on hits. Good. Oh, come on. Alright, so my brilliant plan to avoid taking damage there didn't work. See, look! They were all red that time. That is some bullshit. That was different. Gotta look for the sparkle. Fair. Just not happy with that. Maybe I need to stop spin jumping. I don't think spin jumping's doing me any favors here. Maybe I need to keep spin jumping. I think spin jumping's doing me massive favors here. Yeah, on certain cycles, spin jumping makes sense. When the entire screen is filled with Bullet Bill. In the grim dark future of 2017 million, all things are now Bullet Bills. Well, I think this is a new site. Well, that was terrifying. I don't know if I want to touch this thing. It looks poisonous. Alright. That took less time than I expected. And I am okay with that. Holy hell, what a level. What a level. Creddy's nuts. Level design, me and him, ASM, her. Special unthanks to Brickblock, Louie, Fry, Fire, and me. I'm okay being unthanked. Very merry unbirthday to you two.